After Mumtaz Mahal dies in 1631, Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan commissions a mausoleum at Agra on the Yamuna River. Construction begins around 1632 under a board of architects and senior craftsmen. Ustad Ahmad Lahori is traditionally identified as a principal designer, though the project was collaborative. Surveyors organize a walled rectangle around a strict north-south axis, with the tomb placed at the river end rather than at the garden center. Workers clear and stabilize the bank, lay out workshops, and begin wells for foundations in alluvial soil. Contemporary records do not yield one simple workforce census, but the official site cites around 20,000 artisans and workers for the project. The first visible monument is administration, contracts, material depots, housing, food, animals, and routes converging on Agra. Foundation work concentrates on the riverfront terrace. Builders sink masonry wells, fill and link them, and raise a massive platform designed to distribute the load near the Yamuna. Brick masonry forms much of the hidden mass, while red sandstone and white marble are reserved for visible surfaces and key structural zones. A broad ramp, described in later accounts, may have helped move heavy materials onto the terrace, but its exact dimensions are uncertain. Water lifting devices and channels serve both construction and the future garden. The river is a transport artery as well as a scenic boundary, bringing stone and supplies close to the work. As the plinth rises, engineers continually check settlement, alignment, and level. The famous symmetry above depends on foundations visitors will never see. The square mausoleum begins rising in brick faced with white Makrana marble from Rajasthan. Materials come from across India and Central Asia. The official Taj Mahal history says a fleet of about 1,000 elephants transported loads, a traditional figure best treated as approximate. Masons build 4 immense arched recesses, or iwans, one on each face, while chamfered corners turn the square into an unequal octagon. Repeated geometry keeps all sides balanced even as work proceeds on separate scaffold fronts. Iron cramps and dowels help secure stone, and mortar bonds the masonry behind the polished skin. Carvers leave precise margins for calligraphy and inlay teams. The white tomb deliberately contrasts with the red sandstone buildings that will flank it, making hierarchy visible through material. The central chamber and surrounding rooms climb toward their vaults. The interior is an octagonal space organized around the future cenotaphs, while the actual graves will lie in a lower crypt. Thick masonry carries loads around openings, passages, and upper chambers. On the exterior, smaller domed kiosks called chhatris begin framing the main dome's future silhouette. Craftspeople carve marble screens and prepare pietra dura, or parchin kari, inlay, colored and semi-precious stones cut into leaves, flowers, and geometric forms, then fitted into recesses in white marble. The work requires extraordinary accuracy but no mythical secret technique. Abrasives, drills, saws, chisels, polishing, templates, and patient fitting turn hard minerals into continuous designs. Structural work and surface art advance together on the same walls. Builders close the high drum and raise the enormous double dome. An inner shell shapes the chamber ceiling while a taller outer shell creates the famous bulbous profile, allowing exterior scale and interior proportion to differ. Timber scaffolding and lifting systems surround the roofline. Later claims that the scaffold itself was entirely brick are difficult to verify and should not be repeated as certainty. The marble dome terminates in a gilded finial combining Islamic and Indic visual traditions. For chhatris and corner pinnacles break the transition between vertical walls and central crown. The dome's weight descends through drum, arches, and massive masonry rather than resting on the decorative marble skin alone. From across the Yamuna, the mausoleum now reads as a complete silhouette, although years of inlay, calligraphy, paving, and landscape work remain. 4 minarets rise at the corners of the marble platform, each divided by balconies and topped by a chhatri. They frame the tomb symmetrically and also carry the visual language of a mosque complex. Popular accounts often say they deliberately lean outward so earthquakes would throw them away from the tomb. Measurable inclinations and their exact intent require cautious treatment, so the script does not present that story as settled fact. Calligrapher Amanat Khan designs Quranic inscriptions in black marble inlay around major arches. Letter sizes increase with height to preserve a more even appearance from below. Floral reliefs, carved with shallow modeling, animate the lower walls. Every decorative system follows the architecture's axes and frames, ensuring that dense craftsmanship strengthens rather than obscures the overall geometry. Work spreads through the flanking mosque and jawab, the monumental gateway, enclosing walls, and charbagh garden. Red sandstone gives these buildings visual weight while white marble accents connect them to the tomb. The mosque to the west faces Mecca. The matching eastern building balances the composition and is commonly called the jawab. Garden channels and pools divide the grounds into ordered quadrants, carrying water through an elevated distribution system. The main mausoleum is substantially complete by 1648 according to the official chronology. Mumtaz's remains occupy the lower chamber, while the exquisitely carved screen encloses symbolic cenotaphs above. The complex is already usable, but completion of a Mughal imperial project includes approaches, service structures, water, planting, and urban connections beyond the marble centerpiece. During the final 5 years, crews finished the outer buildings, gardens, gateways, riverfront works, and supporting infrastructure. Trees mature slowly compared with stone, so the intended garden effect continues developing after masons leave. In 1653, the official chronology marks completion of the integrated complex, about 21 years after construction began. Shah Jahan later joins Mumtaz in the crypt after his death in 1666. His cenotaph, placed beside hers, becomes the most visible break in the otherwise rigorous symmetry. The finished Taj Mahal is not only a white dome or a simple legend of love. It is a planned ensemble of tomb, mosque, jawab, gateway, walls, garden, water, river terrace, workshops, and urban patronage, produced by thousands of named and unnamed specialists across an imperial supply network.